United know that this is an important fixture for them. They have won 3 of their last 4 matches. Vere United coming in with a lineup that looks pretty similar to the one they last used. I think just one change to their starting roster here, but Kadeem Davis has been brilliant for them in goals so far this season, and this looks like a pretty solid Vere lineup.
Pretty solid Vere lineup. This has been working for them, as you mentioned. The player to watch, Ricardo Campbell, a solid person around the back. He'll be working with Lumsden, Salmon and Lewis here, but a typical, it seems about a 4-3-3 formation can turn into a 4-2-3-1 during the course of the game, but a defensive lineup is this for Vere United, and that's how we know that Donovan Ducky lines up, and that's his bread and butter. So Mourinho is his favorite coach. So now you see why there's some similarity between their games.
There's the Tivoli Gardens starting roster for today. Pretty much the same as the one that started against Dunbeholden in their last fixture. Watkins in goal, Price, Flemings, Pennycook, Shafar Campbell, Garnett, Thompson, Bowers, Morgan, Devroy Gray, who is a former Jamalco Vere player, and Anthony Nelson. They're the ones in charge of getting goals for Tivoli this afternoon.
Yeah, definitely, especially Devroy Gray. 3 goals this season for Devroy Gray, a former Jamalco / Vere United player. He would be happy to score against this former club. And Odin Pennycook has been so good with Barrington Price, the captain, this season. Pennycook has been a very good one-on-one defender, and Bowers, as you know, was the...
Referee Nemhart starts this one off, and immediately Tivoli making their intentions known. Nelson sets the ball up here for Thompson with a brilliant strike. Powerful right-footed effort there. Unstoppable. 7 minutes gone, and Tivoli Gardens in front 1-0 after showing a lot of purposeful play in the first 6 or 7 minutes of this match. Rewarded there with a Thompson strike. Vere had their moments. Dennis going for the header there from the Lamar Neal free kick way over on the right side. Lumsden was there creeping in behind as well, and Dennis disappointed that he wasn't alerted to that. Tivoli constantly putting pressure on throughout this game. Devroy Gray with a floated kick toward goal. Kadeem Davis with the good safe hands to make sure there's no danger there. Tivoli, another moment here with Devroy Gray not getting a proper shot on. I think it was a shot, although Nelson was creeping in there to try to stick the ball in. Lumsden was there putting pressure on as well. One of the best moments of the match here for the Vere team. Neal with a cross inside, and Vere going really close there, but a lot of pressure there put on Plummer by Campbell. Jermaine Johnson, the 41-year-old, came on in the second half and produced some moments of magic. The build-up brilliant, the dribbling skills brilliant, the finish not as good as it needed to be. Easy take in the end for Davis in the Vere goal. Watkins brilliant twice here. First flicking that one behind from a corner, as Tashane Campbell and Cousins crept in on the back post. And here he is, and there's the vital boot from Garnett, just snatching the ball away from the advancing Lamar Neal after Tashane Campbell's free kick wasn't held. That probably would have scored if Garnett didn't get in the way. So that was how the game ended, and the victory for Tivoli Gardens by 1-0. 6 shots they had on goal, 5 of them on target. Vere had 3 shots on goal, none of them on target. 17 fouls in the match, 9 of them committed by Tivoli players, a couple of yellow cards for either team. 3 corners forced by each team. Vere getting, well, 4 saves by the Vere goalkeeper Davis. And Watkins in goal for Tivoli Gardens made 1 save. Tivoli having more ball possession at 54%. But Tivoli getting a very valuable win that propels them from 8th spot in the table to number 4 in the moment, and in a playoff spot at the moment, just 2 points or 1 point off the lead, being held at the moment by Vere and Mount Pleasant. 13 points they have now, Tivoli Gardens. And as we said, with just a couple of weeks remaining in the preliminary round before the playoffs start, Vere are leaders still, but Tivoli have put themselves right into the conversation to get into position here.
Garnett, our MVP, Tevin Garnett, you started out as a substitute for Tivoli Gardens at the start of the season. You have now really asserted yourself into that starting 11. Assess your journey so far with this Kingston-based team this season.
Journey really tough because most of the time I always pick up injury. So it costs me for out of the team at times. But for once I'm fit, I know me are the first try essential. I'm not for the straight and hard.
All right, so you've intercepted a lot of passes in this game in the middle of the park for Tivoli Gardens and essentially started a lot of attack for Tivoli Gardens. Was that the essential objective of your game this game?
Yeah, simple. That was the objective of my game because I'm the only essential, only use one essential, so I have to always stay in the middle and to protect the back four and the goalkeeper.
All right, you're a part of a midfield that has been very good in the last couple of games. How confident are you in your partners in the middle of the park going into the playoff if you possibly do qualify?
Very confident, so we can only build from here, so because the very young team, quality, lots of touch ball. That me now as essential for us protect the back four and just give them the ball, make them do what they have to do. Because they have the quality for go forward.
All right, continue to shine for Tivoli this season, Tevin.
Thank you.
We now have the head coach for Vere United, Donovan Ducky. Tough loss for you. 2 games left for the season. What do you think went wrong for your team?
Well, I thought we started the game tentatively. Tivoli knew what they wanted to do. They were more aggressive in the first 10 minutes. After that, we conceded the first goal. I thought we played well. I was very pleased with our performance. We created some chances. We got some good looks. We should have penetrated some areas that we wanted to penetrate. We were indisciplined in terms of that. But I'm pleased with the overall performance. We lost a good game. Credit to Tivoli. They did well. They did enough to win the game. There's a lot of lessons that we can take from this game going into the other.
All right, the middle of the park, I believe, was where sometimes you were faulty because of a lot of passes were intercepted. What do you think you will do now within the next 2 games to fix that?
Well, if you analyze the 2 halves, you saw where we were a little bit more patient in the first half after the first 15 minutes. In the second half, we wanted to score back so badly. It ended up in pure indecisions by us. So we kept on getting caught in transition. We had too much turnover because we were too direct. We could have been more patient and tried to break them down along the flank, but instead we wanted to go straight down the middle. But as I said before, it was a good game. There's a lot we can take from this game. We have not played in 3 weeks. And, it's good to be back on the pitch.
All right, all the best for the last 2 games of the regular season.
Thank you very much.
We now have the winning coach of this game, Coach Philip Williams of Tivoli Gardens. Coach, the midfield was very, very well in this game. Played very good, intercepted a lot of passes and started a lot of telling attacks. Was that the essential objective to win the game in the middle of the park for you today against Vere?
Definitely. As I said pre-game, Vere is very organized and they shift from side to side very well. So our game plan was to definitely control the middle in terms of some connecting some vertical passes, and we did that today, and we really controlled the middle, which was key today.
All right, not only the middle of the park, but the defense was also very crucial. Dean Pennycook and Barrington Price have been a very good pairing for you this season. How impressed have you been with those 2?
I mean, they give us the foundation for us to feel free in the other department. That's one of the departments that I'm very comfortable with. They have been starting together from the second match, and they have a good chemistry going between the 2 centre backs and the other wing back. So it's working for us, and they have been keeping it tight at the back for us, which is good.
All right, all the best for the next 2 games.
Yeah, man. Thanks much.
Philip Williams, they're the coach of Tivoli Gardens, and they have come up with the victory here. So they are the full results of match day 9 so far. Harbourview 1-0 over Malines, Dunbeholden 2-1 over Humberland, Mount Pleasant 3-2 over Cavalier, and so far this afternoon Tivoli Gardens defeating Vere by 1-0. Arnett Gardens against Waterhouse coming up. So with this result, Vere still top of the table. Their goal difference advantage over Mount Pleasant, not as good as it was this morning, but they're still top. Tivoli Gardens moving up to 4th spot now in the table on 13 points, and look at how the top frame looks, just 1 point separating 1st from 5th, and just 2 points separating 1st from 6th, and the teams just outside the top 6 playoff spots at the moment, Harbourview and Waterhouse. Waterhouse coming up next, so they have an opportunity to jump into the top flight at the moment. Arnett Gardens also getting an opportunity to move into a playoff position if they can. So Tivoli Gardens with a victory this afternoon by 1-0 over Vere, stretching their unbeaten run to 5 games now. And to Kevin Garnett, man of the match, the former Boys Town and Jamalco player, up against Jamalco. Now Vere this afternoon in a winning shirt for Tivoli Gardens. Up next, Waterhouse coming up against Arnett Gardens.